Hey folks, this is Mr. Orlusky, and welcome to your final band assignment for this year, or one of the final band assignments. I believe this is the final one, which is writing your own piece of music. It's a super cool free software called Flat.io, and if anyone not in my classes they're viewing this, then please feel free to explore and create your own music, because I'm going to put this on the band YouTube channel. And yeah, it's really cool. So I'm going to just kind of go up here and click. That just shows right there to line up my audio and visual. All right, let's go ahead and make this full screen. This is going to be a tutorial showing you how to obviously make your own piece of music. And so please hang out with me by first going to your Google search engine and clicking in flat.io. Once you go there, you will see this. Click on that title, and it will bring you to how to sign up for flat.io. This is my dashboard, so this is what you're going to see second. So let me go ahead and log out right in front of you. And logging out. Okay, so sign into Flat. This is what you will see once you search in Google and then click into the free software. Sign with Google, sign in with Apple, sign in with Facebook, or write in your email, create a password, and then get set up. All right, so I've already set up with Google. I'm already set up with Google. So I click in that, and it brings me to my dashboard. This is once you will see this as it shows you on the left hand side how many pieces of music that you can create, which is up to 15 free pieces. Super cool. If you want to go beyond that, then you would have to upgrade and pay money. But for now, you can get started and get your feet wet and see if you guys like it, right? You can see here that I've created one piece 26 minutes ago. I did have a bunch of older ones that I've done years, over a year ago, but I've already deleted those. So this is our main objective. I'm going to click in this just to show you what we are going to cover, but we will create one from scratch. All right, so there's a lot of detail here. More advanced students will know what all these little details are. Our beginner students, please hang out with us throughout the whole video, because at the very end, I'm going to be going up here to the share button, because at the very end, you will take your piece, get the link, share it with your classmates on a Google form within Microsoft Teams, and that will be the final week of school, which would be next week, all right? Because there's only a few more weeks of school left, believe it or not. All right, right on. So let's go create a piece from scratch. I click up here on the flat.io logo. That will always bring you back. Upper left-hand side, it will always bring you back to your dashboard. So I click on that. Brings me back to my dashboard. I go over to the right-hand side where it says New Score. I'm going to click on New Score. All right, this is where you choose your appropriate title. So I did Sunlight, so let's do Moonlight. Click Continue. And it brings up a list of instruments that we can work with. I would like you, please, to pick the instrument that you play in band. Can we pick many instruments, Mr. O? Yes, you may pick many instruments, but let's just focus on one for now, and then after you submit and you want to keep going with your own piece, then you can add more instruments and make a really, really flushed out piece of music, and it can take a really long time, right? But for now, we're just getting our feet wet, like I said, and let's hear some of these different instruments. If I click on, oh, by the way, you can search your instrument. So when I was your age, I started with clarinet. You can see that some of the title has premium and some of them do not. I've already cross-checked all the instruments we play in band, and we are good to go. All right, so you can click the little sound icon over here and just get a little demo of what it sounds like. I'm going to go off that and go back to the different family instruments. Let's go to woodwinds and hear the flute here. We just heard clarinet, so let's go to alto saxophone. That is what our beginner band students play. And that pretty much covers for now our woodwind family. Let's go up to brass. French horn, horn in F. There's many different keyed horn instruments. Let's just focus on horn in F because that's what we play in class, right? Trumpet, trombone. All right, so we have baritone horn and euphonium. It's the difference between these two instruments would be how the instrument is constructed, and one is conical and one is cylindrical. So we're going to do and then euphonium. Personally, I like euphonium sound better. It's more round and clear, but I'll leave our baritone or euphonium players, I'll leave it up to them what they would like to select. Tuba. And then that covers our brass instruments that we have available. Let's go to percussion now. Now percussion, you have pitched percussion as well as percussion. So pitched percussion would be the glockenspiel. The glockenspiel is the instrument that is your bell kit. We also have in the back of the band hall the marimba. Xylophone is a smaller marimba, very popular. At the back of the band hall, we also have the timpani. Those are those big round, like bowl-shaped instruments. And there's more choices that you can explore. Let's hang out, please, in the glockenspiel for our percussionists, if you choose pitch percussion. Now, if you choose just percussion, which is playing the rhythm only, then please choose the snare drum, the marching snare. Okay, that would be, that would match what you have started learning on the drum pad. But all these different instruments is what you can really explore in the future. Okay, lots of great choices that you can do. Let's hear the cymbals. Yeah, triangle. Yeah, you see all these choices here? This is why you know, for the most part, why there is a percussion class by itself. Yeah. Let's go back to the instrument I started when I was your age, the clarinet. Now, if I click plus sign, it brings it over here to the right-hand side, and then I can hit create. Again, I can click many different instruments, and they will all show here, but let's go ahead and hit create. And finally, we got our instrument. All right, right on. Now, before I ask you to add your own name, let's say you picked the wrong instrument for whatever reason. You click on the clarinet, and then it shows the clarinet over here. You can add instruments, but we want to edit. So edit, and then don't worry about anything down here. Just replace clarinet right here. So hit replace, and then it brings us back to what we were just working on a moment ago. All right, but we're okay, so we're going to cancel that, and we're going to click done because we don't want to change anything. What we do want to add is your name to your music. Please add your name to your music. How do you do that, Mr. O? Click on the title of your piece. If you want to add, you know, stuff to your title because something else came to mind, you can do that. But we want to go to composer. Composer is the person who writes the music. So go ahead and add your name there and then click save. That's it. And then there we go. Boom, right on the right-hand side. Excuse me. If you made a mistake, just highlight over it and it will come back up to that same screen. By default, it gives one measure blank. So it will always put rests in the blank measure. But before we start going through all of these different features of how to write music, we want to get into the appropriate key signature. So I would like for our beginner students to look in your Bandfolio textbook and match what you see, which is concert B flat. We've worked with that scale this year, and there are two ways to do this. You can highlight over between the clef and the time signature. Click right there. It might show flats, it might show sharps. For clarinet, it has 2 sharps. Click on that, and then it will bring up all the different key signatures that you can select. Go ahead and highlight either this one. That's really it, just this one. We started going into concert E flat. We started going into that, which would be down here, the 1 flat for you guys for clarinets. But that is what your Bandfolio textbook shows, just nothing. Now let's say you click that by mistake and you made a mistake. You're like, oh no, I can't click on anything. You start clicking on the time signature. No, I don't want to change that. Okay, don't change that. 4/4 is fine. Oh, I click on the clef. I want to change. Nope. If you clicked your appropriate instrument, then it will set up the appropriate clef. So nope, don't change that. So how do I change it? I can't click on any sharps or flats. You're going to go up to Measure tool here, where it says Measure, and then it shows the key signature tool right there. Then that pops back up. All right? Okay, but for now, we'll keep it like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is how do you start writing music? Well, we'll go back to where it says Note. Okay, so now it says Note. As you can see, it has the whole note, half note, quarter note, eighth note, 16th note. 30 seconds, we didn't really go into that, and 64ths, we definitely didn't do that. You can also use shortcut keys, which is 1, 2, 3. Once you get more comfortable, you can just hit those, and it will quickly change wherever your cursor is. So right now you see beat number 1, because there's 4 beats in a measure, right? We know that from the time signature, 4 beats per measure. I'm highlighted over the first beat. Now I can do 2 things here to change where I want that cursor to go, okay? So I can either click on the next beat, and it will change it, or I can just move left and right with my arrow keys. I like doing left and right personally. So beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, and there you go. Okay, I'm going to click on the quarter note. Now you see how it's kind of showing on the staff where the note would go. Let's say I click C. It automatically puts the cursor on the next beat. So let's say you picked the wrong note. Like, oh no, I don't want that. Go click left. Okay. Now don't click another note, because now it stacks notes together. We don't want that, right? And I made a mistake. So let's go up here. This is a good time to show you the undo key. So always click this undo if you want to go back 1 step. There you go. Okay, so I'm here. How do I quickly change this note? Just push up and down on the note. That's it. That's it. Okay, up and down. There we go. So let's go on to the second beat. We'll do another quarter note. Now I can highlight it by just going like this, or for students that might be a little bit more experienced, what you can do is just type in the letter name on your keyboard. So let's say I want a G. I'm not really sure where the G is. I forgot. Just hit G. And now it gave me a low G. So I know that I don't want that G, right? So I'm going to push that up. Oops, sorry. Okay, there you go. There's the G, right? The next one, let's do F. There you go. Right? It didn't give me the really low F. It gave me the one that was close next to the G. And then the last one, let's do A. All right. Now you see what happened there? It created another measure because I didn't end the piece. I didn't put, it just automatically added another measure. I'll show you later how to add measures and delete measures, but let's keep going with our music with different rhythms. Let's choose eighth notes. So now I'm going to choose this first beat with eighth notes. Okay, see how it automatically created two rests? Because it split the quarter note in half. So I'm going to go ahead and put down two Gs. There you go. And I don't want eighth notes here anymore. Let's do a half note. So I go up here. I can either click number 2 or actually click the half note. Now we have a half rest there, so I don't want that. Let's do, we'll put a D. And then the last note, we can put something that makes sense, which obviously a whole note would not make sense. So it would create another measure for us. A half note also doesn't make sense, so a quarter note, just a quarter note. Okay, so I only want 2 measures right now. So what we're going to do is listen to the music first, and then we'll start working on measures and different things like that. So in short, we went through a good gist of what the note tab does, is highlighting over the rhythms and going through the music. All right. Now you can change the flats and sharps. If I want this note to be flat, then go ahead and you can just label it as flat. But I don't want that, so undo. Let's hit the play button, see what happens. Okay, I'm happy with that, but I want it a little bit faster. So I'm going to click over where it says quarter note equals 80, which is the tempo marking. And I'm going to push this up to 100. Hit save. Now if you want to demo what that sounds like, it gives, this is great. Great tool. Lots of metronomes look like this. You can just kind of go up like this. It doesn't really give you a full. I would just click save. Just go ahead and hit play, and then you can test it out. Yeah, I like that. That flows pretty nicely. Let's go into creating measures and deleting measures. So I'm going to skip over articulation for now, folks, or ornament and dynamic, and go right to the measure tool. All right, so I'm up here in the measure tool. Click on that. All right, use my cursor to get over to the third measure. Now, what I can do is I can insert a measure before, insert a measure after, remove this measure completely, like I said that we can do before. Let's not worry about that. System break. Change the clef, key signature, time signature. Again, this is showing you if you made a mistake. I mentioned that before with the key signature. Tempo, I showed you how to just highlight that here. Don't worry about this. This would be a little bit more for jazz type music. Rehearsal numbers, bar lines, repeat sign. We've used that in our bandfolio book. Multi-measure rest. No, the measure repeat. This would be for percussion. Okay. DC al fine, and remember these, the fine. We've used that for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right, in the bandfolio book. First endings and second endings, we've worked with that. And Ritornando, accelerate. Okay, so we'll go through this. Not every single one we're going to go through, but I just quickly went through what is available there. Let's go to removing this measure. So remove measure. There you go. Only 2 measures I have. I like that. But let's say you want 8 measures. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It gives us down here below clarinet. It also gives us a little rehearsal number. Not rehearsal number, measure number. Gives us a little measure number there. Just to know where you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I don't want to work with 8 measures. That's a little bit too long right now. So let's go there and click remove, remove, because I'm highlighted here, right? So it's going to remove it, remove the 5th measure, 4th measure, and we're back to only 2 measures. All right, nice. That is the measure tool in a nutshell. So let's go over to some of the more advanced techniques. Yes, so beginners, you now have a good sense of what you can create. I would recommend this, guys. Write something that you can play on your instrument. If you want to make something more complex, by all means, go ahead and explore and make something more complex. But I think it's really cool if you write something and then you can play it on your instrument because, well, it's yours, right? So why not? But I'll leave that up to you to decide. Let's go to the dynamic. I'm going to go to the one next to the measure tool, dynamics. We started doing this with beginners. This is where we ended. I believe it's number 50 in the Bandfolio book. We've worked with the basic piano, which is soft, forte, and then everything in between and below and up here. These would be, we started doing a little bit of these for the advanced students, like the sforzando, which would be the surprise attack, loud to soft, soft to loud. Diminuendo and crescendo, I'll show that in a moment. So let's do the piano. Okay, let's see how this sounds. It should be quiet. Okay, let's go back and let's make it nice and loud now. Okay. Okay, you should have heard a noticeable difference there. Now let's go back again, undo. Let's grow the sound now. So we want to grow our sound from the first note, which is soft, and we want to grow crescendo. And you can take this and expand it. I want to go all the way to the D. Let's make the D. I click on the D, go there. Let's make it loud. All right. Let's go. Okay, now let's play. Okay, for me, I heard a little bit of growth here on the 4th beat into the 1st beat. So let's start even softer. Let's see if that can make a difference. Okay, I just changed it. Let's see. Okay, remember, this is the difference between real people playing music to computers playing music. It's always going to sound better with real people inserting their emotion and delivering the music over their instrument. Okay, so but it gives us that effect here. So that is dynamics in a nutshell. Let's go to articulation. Articulations. All right. Now, articulations. We have this year we worked on staccatos, tenutos, and accents, as well as fermatas, right? So we had a fermata there as well. We see we have a breath mark over here, caesura. Caesura we had in the pictures of exhibition, right? I believe that was marked somewhere in the music. I have to look back at the score. Maybe mistaken there, sorry. If I'm mistaken, then I'll accept that. Here we go. So let's do some tenutos. There's a tenuto. Next one. Tenuto. So hold the note out a little longer. Let's do let's change these rhythms. And so we're gonna do and then okay, let's make those short. So we'll go back to articulations, short staccato. I can also use just the shortcut key 1. Let's do another long note, tenuto, and then we'll do we'll keep these the same, nothing. We'll do an accent on this one, and then the last one we'll do tenuto. Right, let's see what happens. Okay, all right. So if I didn't like that, you can go back and change it. What I'm going to do is go on the last note, and let's say the last note, for whatever reason, has a fermata. Let's see what it does in the computer program, because we don't have a conductor, right? I held it out a little longer, and so let's have this be a quarter note instead, and let's have this be a half note, so we can hold it out and we can end on the C. I don't want that, so go to the measure tool, remove the measure, okay, and we want this last note to be, it had a tenuto, but we don't need that. We want the fermata. Okay, let's hear how this sounds. Okay, you see how I held it out a little bit longer? So the fermata in this flat.io, when you place a fermata, it holds the note out just a little bit longer. We know that we have to look at the conductor and cut off with the conductor, right? Right on. Okay, ornaments. We didn't do a lot of ornaments this year. There's a lot going on here. Now, tremolo. We know that our percussionists, with these lines here, if I was doing the snare drum, you can add in some rolls with the ornament tool here, okay? Seeing how this is the clarinet, we're not going to be rolling on the clarinet, but, whoops, what we can do is click the trill. Now, the trill, what a trill does, well, why don't you listen to it and then we can see, all right? Here we go. So you saw that on this note, you heard rather, on this note, you play one note higher, so one line or space higher, and you going back and forth quickly before you land on the third beat and then play. Listen again. So ornament, let's take away the fermata. Oh no, I made a mistake. So, okay, if I wanted the fermata to go away, you can go back to the articulation tool, click on fermata, and then just click it again, and it will go away. Sorry, my fault. Let's really hear that trill. So what can we do to really hear that trill? Because it's over the quarter note. So 3, 2, 1, change the tempo. Let's go back to 80 is where we started before. Let's hear now the trill. Cool, I like how that sounds. Now, again, in a nutshell, I know I keep saying that throughout this video, ornaments, what they are designed to do is to think like a Christmas tree. Without the trill, you have the Christmas tree, looks very nice. It might be a certain height. It might, have a certain color. But what you need to do to brighten up the Christmas tree a little bit is hang the different ornaments, right? So that's what ornaments are. They just decorate the music in a way to bring it to life in a unique way. All right. So you don't have to add that. That's up to you if you want to add that or not. Let's see. We're going to finish off, folks, with the text tool. The text tool, you don't really need to use too much. What we have here is lyrics. If this was choir class, then you can write in your own lyrics if you were singing. Certain chords for like guitar class. This would be for guitars. Classic chords. This starts to get into harmony and different things like that. Jazz band, this would be really helpful for jazz band because you have certain harmonic chords that outline for a soloist where to improvise, kind of like, it gives the perimeters of where to improvise. So if you don't know what I'm saying for that, that is a message more for jazz band. But for this here, what we got here is just the annotation. So if I click on annotation, and let's say I want to put in tempo marking, largo. Now we know that largo means you're playing slow. I haven't figured out. If you want to let me know how to do this, I would have to search a little bit more for this. Once you're done with that and you leave off of it, I can't like move that largo. Whoops. Oh. I can't move the largo for some reason. So you can let me know, or I would just have to explore a little bit more and find that answer. But guys, that's in a nutshell. All right. Again, there's like the fourth time I said that. That's how to create your own piece. I urge you to explore, and I'm really interested to hear what you come up with as this closes out this school year. How do you get the link to share your assignment? Go over to the top part where it says share. You click on that, and it brings up a bunch of different choices. We want the first choice, okay? Don't worry about the different ones. This is really cool. The third choice, though, is pretty cool. If we did like a teamwork group, collaborative teamwork, add collaborators to view and edit, so we can have like 2 or 3 people working on this together, and then that's really cool. But we want the top one: copy private shareable link. Anyone with this link will be able to view. You'll click on that, and then the link is copied, and you can go ahead and create a new tab and then be able to see it in there. All right? Okay, guys, so good luck. Reach out if you have any questions, and good luck again. Right on. Thank you. Oh, post. This is a post little part here. Whoops, I just added this in. So post little part. If you clicked over here on the upper left-hand side and closed off the assignment, you can do 2 things. Open it back up and click the share tool, or you can go on these 3 dots, view, edit, share, and it gives a list here. Go ahead and click share, and then it brings up this option again. Okay, now we're done. Go ahead, guys. Good luck. Right on.